And then Julie, you are up first.
Okay, my name is Marcel Cottle, and I'm a farmer up there by Mayfield Store area. What's the deal here? Anyway, been battling for the past 4 years on this Highway 46 road improvement. How many of you people know what's actually going on that hill east of Mayfield Store on Highway 46? How many of you people have been out there? Now, that I actually got to come out and look at it. And you know what? The only way I found him, I knew he worked for a trucking company. And so I called his office. I got his number. I don't know where any of your guys' phone numbers are or whatever, how to get a hold of you or whatever. But anyway, here's the story. I rent this farm from my neighbor who's no longer here now. He passed away about a year or two ago in an ATV accident. Anyway, I remember his conversation saying to me, he goes, Marcel, don't worry about it. This project's gonna be fine. It'll come out great. Well, as soon as they started moving dirt and everything, I was already concerned. They were taking trees down and everything. They were starting to get in the property that I rent, and I need all the pasture I can get to run my herd. Anyway, there was a spring underneath that hill, okay? And I went to the meeting in Irene the fall before it started to be dirt work in the spring the following year, and I told them about it. And they said, didn't know anything about it. Can you show me on the map? I showed him on the map. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, next year they started moving dirt. And okay, so a whole year went by, they got all the dirt moved. They put in temporary fences so we can at least graze that part of the pasture, which was fine. Then that winter and the following spring, I noticed water started seeping out of that hill and that ground starting to give away, okay? It's been 4 years. So they came out, they put in some temporary fence again to hold my cattle in, okay? I told the engineers, I said, do you know that you have a problem out here with running water? The spring is still running? They wouldn't answer my questions. They kind of like shut me down. They wouldn't listen to my opinions and my advice or whatever. And so then last year, they didn't have a blacktop yet in June. And I said, are you gonna fix that? And they didn't respond again. They went ahead and blacktopped the whole road. They also messed up 445, running water down to a bridge that you guys put in for us, and it's eroding away there, but you're excellent, what's his name? He's the head of superintendent of roads. Yeah, he came out and moved some rocks, kind of hold that. I had to put an electric fence around there just so that way the cattle wouldn't get out. My daughter lives in Kansas City. She came home last summer and she goes, Dad, when are you gonna come down and see me? You haven't been here for 4 years. I go, Melanie, I can't get away. I couldn't explain to her, but this is how it was. The fences were ruined again from all that screw ups that the state did. I had to put electric fence in that area because I didn't want my cattle to get out on the highway, someone hitting them, someone killing my livestock and whatever. And I was out there every day for 6 weeks checking that fence, moving the electric fence. You talk about a waste of taxpayer money. Now, I found out, well, go back a little bit. I took it up with Pierre. I said, I want to talk to the governor. And the secretary of his secretary says he's not in, but I'll relay the message. So she did an excellent job relaying the message. We had a bunch of people come down last fall. They examined it. If you people really want to know what's going on, you walk that. I got video in my pocket on my phone, 3 of them. And I really wanted to show that first group of people. But anyway, now they said they'd be out here this spring to repair that area and make it right. Well, guess what? We're already June 1 almost, and nobody showed up. And I found out here recently that they gave the bid to some Texas company, undercutted the local guys, Mike Pullman, who's a very good excavation company out of Conda, South Dakota, who I think would have fixed it. And if not, he would have came back and made it right. They gave it to this company in Texas for $250,000 under budget or under whatever everybody else was bidding. And now, we'll see if they show up. But if they don't, if there's a problem, how are we going to get them back? My problem, our question to you guys is, you talk about wasteful spending. I was a concerned citizen out there, a taxpayer. I was pointing things out and everything. I even got soil technician degree. I told them you didn't take one soil compaction test out there. This has all failed. We live out there. We tell these people things, and yet nobody listens to us. And Larry Roden, who I thought was a great guy, I thought, okay, he's my number one. He's a cowboy. He's a rancher. He understands cattle. Well, guess what? He was too busy. He was campaigning at Stockman's that one day when I met him. And he was too busy. I said, please come with me. I'll take you out there. Oh, we don't have time. We had another guy with him. I think his name is Bruce. I think he's head of the archery center. He goes, oh, Marcel, I've heard of you. You know what? I've had to get this thing into the press in Dakota and get the word out. But you and whoever else that's running, nobody's come out and taken. You guys even care? Oh, now you're going to give me your number because you're running.
You've never called or reached out to any of us.
John is on the county commission. Don't you the situation out there? Okay, but didn't the other county commissioners know about this? I get it, but they messed up some of that stuff there by that little bridge on that county road there. You know, I'm a concerned taxpayer. This is wasteful spending, big time. They think they can figure it out, but I doubt it. How do you stop a spring? It never was like that in 2012 when I first started renting the property. I don't think the job that they did out there is worth the hoot anyway. The traffic comes so fast, they're always looking to pass. They didn't give any, they didn't really make it better for anybody. That's all I got.
Well, Mr. Cottle, I remember reading about your story, and you've called my office. Yep. And well, I didn't get back to you because I simply didn't have anything to tell you because I called DOT, and I walked out there. And I walked out on the property. It's a deaf ear with DOT. They do not seem to think there's anything wrong with it. They have told me they've done everything they possibly can, and they're not willing to do anything for you. And that's exactly. I know.
I'm not sure what to do.
Mm-hmm. This is the problem with our state government. In some cases, they just simply do not want to listen to the people. They don't. They don't want to listen to. They don't want to listen to the people. Their engineers are smarter than the rest of us, and unfortunately, they don't think that the people have a voice or they have an opinion. And so, when you were talking to the state engineers, as a matter of fact, I brought it up in one of our committee meetings. And they basically said that they've done all they can do. So I apologize to you that, unfortunately, this is the situation that we have with our DOT in the state of South Dakota. Unfortunately, it would probably be on the back. It would probably be on the backs of the South Dakota taxpayers.
Okay, yeah, so for starters, yes, that is a state road, state project, so as a county commission, we really have no powers in it. We don't have a lot of control over who gets selected. We don't get a lot of control over any of the decision-making done on there. Now, I have had conversations with Greg Rothschadel, DOT, on other areas in the county. You know, I give him input, I give him advice. He does seem to take my advice sometimes because I am an engineer as well, and I talk to him like an engineer. If you would have contacted me, I would have loved to have gone out there with him to go talk about it. But I have the usual way to contact us is on our website. There is a form to always fill out, and we get that email. I don't have a number posted on there, but that is a great example of how we should probably improve how we communicate and do business as a county so that it's easier to contact us and get the information to us, because obviously this is a failure point here where you're looking for a number, all we really have is a form on a website. And we probably should be doing better than that. And that's one of the reasons why I want to redesign that website. I want better accessibility.
My phone number, 605-660-0438. It was in my article in the paper. I'm CEO of Yankton Thrive. My cell phone is also posted on there. I do want to be accessible to people who have issues. I do not have any solutions to offer. I do not have enough details on this specific situation, but I do think that continued communication between the state, the county, and the landowners is integral to trying to find a solution.
Well, one of the main parts of my campaign, as I've always been talking about, is communication. Now, your particular deal, I did read in the newspaper about the declining hill, running downhill and whatever because of the water and all that stuff. But once again, like they said, it's a state project. One thing that, as a county commissioner, that we can do is band together and make enough noise that Pierre has to pay attention to us. Whether it'll accomplish anything, you don't know till we try.
Yeah, Mr. Cottle, I'm sorry you're having to deal with this situation. It actually kind of reminds me the situation we dealt with, Dad, when they redid the Highway 46 bridge across from our property, and we went and told the state that this is going to cause problems and erosion on the James River, and they needed to redo it. And did they listen to us? Absolutely not, right? We were just a couple dumb farmers that, and they were not, they had many, many degrees, and guess what? Now we're dealing years later with the same negative consequences. So I gave you my number. I'd be happy to go with you. I'm available tomorrow if you want to give me a call. Yeah. 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 No, and yeah, I'm sorry you're having to deal with it. And again, that's why we need to band together and work with the state. We've actually had a few situations kind of similar, maybe not to your scale because I haven't seen it, where we've had to deal with the springs. And you said you worked with Mike Sedlacek, correct? And he's the one who actually came up with some pretty ingenious ideas on how to deal with that. And if you'd like, I'll get with him and bring him out, and we'll take a look at it and see what we can do. Okay. Yeah, yeah. 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 We understand. Yeah, I understand your frustration, sir. It's your livelihood. Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.